on the outcome. Tell us about the last play. You caught the 40-yard pass from Cale. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Being a 1-minute drive, it's something we practice all the time in practice. We pride ourselves on it, and we're putting together a good drive. And Coach Willie just made a great play call, and the whole line was able to get a perfect pocket for Cale to deliver that ball, and just it was a blessing to be able to make that play.
What did you guys think in the huddle when they called that versus something a little more conservative?
I mean, that's just what we do. Are you saying on that first drive of the 2-minute?
Well, just when you're going to go for the long pass, try and get in field goal range. You could, I don't know if you had time for a couple more plays, but you went for the long pass. What did you think when you heard that call?
Yeah, when I heard that call, it was just we practice that play all the time in practice, and it's just it's some like routine that we do every day, and just we were confident that we were going to be able to execute, and just thankful for Coach to call that.
Just tell us about, you had a first touchdown in the first half. Key plays, Briggs Bartosh 35-yard run, and then the pass from Cale Hellums to Noah Short 40-yard touchdown play. Tell us about that drive.
Yeah, that drive it was just we knew we had to get something going. And Noah, one of the best playmakers on our team, was just put in a great position to make a play. Cale delivered a perfect ball, and but thankful definitely for O-line and Briggs for getting that drive going for us. Those long runs and getting that picking up the sticks were huge for getting us going.
It just tells about your fourth quarter drive, 13 plays that gave you the lead, and pass to Briggs Bartosh. Cale Hellums had a 12-yard run, and then he finished with a 10-yard run. Tell us about that drive.
That's just that's an Army football drive right there. That's what it felt like. Is just just running the ball down, doing what we can, picking up the sticks, taking up the clock, and just the mob was just, they're animals. They executed it, and our guys with the ball in our hands were able to make plays, and it was just to be able to finish that drive out. That's just what we do.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We'll go to Joe Iacono. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, Brady, congratulations on the win. Joe Iacono with GBK. Talk about, I know all your teammates and your brothers are super close to you, right? But I also know at West Point, your classmates are really important. And the sophomore class, I guess the class of 28, came up big time today. You, Briggs Bartosh had a big game. Jack Balsam had a big game. Talk about your classmates on the team and kind of, Cole Seawright making the big play there, kind of what you see for, your class as the Army football season moves along and we roll into the rest of your career.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Just, brotherhood is just a huge part of what we do. And I think, we got some great players in all of our classes. And I think we're all just thankful to be able to make those plays today when the team was relying on us. But yeah, those runs from Briggs Bartosh, that huge play by Cole Seawright at the end there is just, I saw him after the game and just looked at him and I knew he was going to make that play. That's just what he does. And so, definitely happy to have those guys on the team.
We'll go now to Sal Interdonato. Sal, go ahead.
Hey, Brady, congratulations. I was wondering if you could put in perspective this being your first Commander-in-Chief's trophy game and, making a big play to help your team win.
I mean, it's obviously it was a huge game for us, and having never played in the Commander-in-Chief's game before, just hearing from my coaches and teammates just how big of a deal it is and how to approach the game. And so, we came in just as a dogfight every single play, and just happy to be able to make that play at the end there.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
We'll go now to Ken McMillan. Ken, go ahead.
Hey, Brady, congratulations. Just to follow on Kenny's earlier question, tell us about your heartbeat at that time when you're getting the call. Honestly, tell us what was going through your mind and how do you keep the poise?
I think one of the ways that I play is I don't really think too much. I try to never get too high, never get too low, and so just going out there, just hearing that he calls a play, just being confident that we were going to be able to execute that, because and that confidence is just built from practicing doing that play every day in practice and trusting my teammates.
And last thing, can you just talk about Cale Hellums and his ability to throw the long ball? It's really getting more and more proficient.
Yeah, absolutely. Cale, he's got a great ball. He can throw that thing super far and super accurate. And I think it's been there all season. And just the more opportunities we get to connect on those, I think the better we're gonna get at it.
Thank you.
Seth Mendelson, go ahead.
Hey, Brady, congratulations on the win. This was a nail biter all the way through. Tell us about the emotion for the team before the game, during the game, and especially when you get the ball with a minute and a half left or so in a tie game. What was the emotion on the field, or on the sideline, wherever you were at a particular time?
Yeah, obviously, before the game, just super intense, one mission, and we kept that mindset throughout the game. And then when it came down to it, late in the fourth quarter, we knew when we were going to get that ball back, we were going to go and finish the game out and get the win for us. And defense, just like we're confident in our defense, and when they were giving us opportunities, we knew we had to execute on them.
Final question: how do you feel for Dawson Jones making the winning field goal?
Just he's got ice in his veins. I think he's getting better every week, and just we all trusted him to go out and finish that and make that big kick. So super happy for him.
Thank you.
Anything else for Brady? All right, Brady, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, congratulations. What does it mean to you overall? Just play a game like that, nail biter to the last play, and win it as the Army quarterback.
It was awesome, to win the first step to the CIC. Step 2 is going to be December 13th, but to go out and to beat Air Force at Air Force, it just meant the world. For the senior class, that's what we came in here want to do. We know we want to bring the CIC back to West Point for the seniors and for everyone that goes into West Point, and it meant the world. It was awesome.
Let's take us to a couple of drives you scored in second quarter. You had the run by Briggs Bartosh, and then you had the 40-yard pass, your pass to Noah Short. Tell us about that drive?
Yeah, so that was Briggs put us in position to later score in that drive. The O-line blocked tremendously well on that drive, and then we came out and we ran a play that we installed last week. Got Polecat, we lined up the box, and Noah Short just beat his guy deep and was able to make a play.
And then start the fourth quarter. Air Force had tied it up 10-all, and then you did a 13-play drive. You had a pitch, a 10-yard pitch play to Noah Short, and then you had a pass to Briggs Bartosh. You had a 12-yard run, and then you score on a 10-yard run. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a black flag Army football drive. We needed that. We were kind of stagnant going into that drive, but we were able to move the ball and stay ahead of the chains. That's the biggest thing with these games, staying ahead of the chains and don't shoot ourselves in the foot. And we were able to do that, and we got into the red zone, and the O-line just gave me a big hole, and we creased it and put 7 on the board.
And just Cole Seawright causes the fumble on the Air Force quarterback. You get the ball back, but you go to 4th and 1 and you miss it. What was that play like?
Yeah, that's something that's not acceptable. We gotta on that. The offense should not come off the field. It's 4th and 1. It needs to be our culture versus there and whoever we play, right? I think we have the most gritty, tough football team in America, and we need to be able to execute that. But we didn't, and then we were able to come back on. We knew we were going to get another shot, and then that was a positive to see the all 11 come back on, and then put us in a position to win the game with no time left.
And Air Force ties it, and then you get the ball back, minute or so left, and a couple plays, and you decide you get the call to throw the ball long to Brady Anderson. You complete it, sets up the game-winning field goal. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we were moving the ball on the ground that drive. We had a minute and 26, I think, with 2 timeouts. So we know we were able to do what we do, and that's run the ball. And Coach really, called a great play. We saw that backside safety low in the box, and we had a good mesh fake, and the O-line pass protect really well, and it was man coverage on the play side, and Brady was able to get separation, and he just made an awesome play.
So I ask you, what did it feel like to sing your alma mater a cappella in front of your to the core and your fans out there today?
Yeah, it meant the world, to sing second. It was an emotional feeling, you got jitters, just, you're happy. It was a gritty game. And to be able to sing second, away from West Point, but in front of the core cadets that did travel, in front of the fans, it meant the world.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll go to Joe Iacano first. Joe, go ahead.
Cale, congratulations on the win. Joe Iacano with GBK. First question for you. For those of us who've never played in an Army Air Force game and you're on the road at Air Force, at elevation, with everything else on the line, Commander in Chief's trophy, how hard is it to win these games?
Yeah, I definitely was, not warned, but the coaches, they made it known that these games are going to be tougher than usual. I mean, we've played at Kansas State, we played at Tulane, which are really great teams, but this game was different. And I knew going into it was going to be a dogfight. They were physical. With these CIC games, I think you see a team on film when you're preparing for them, but then the team you play, they're going to be going a little harder, and you got to match that, and you got to bring it, and for this to be my first CIC game played, and to end how it did, it was awesome, and I just couldn't be more proud of the team.
Thanks, Cale.
Yes, sir.
Go now to Sal Interdonato. Sal, go ahead.
Hey, Cale, congratulations on the win. Want to ask you about the emotion after Dawson Jones's kick goes through the uprights. We saw you and Coach Munkin with a pretty cool embrace. Can you talk about that and what that meant to you?
Yeah, Coach Munkin, my freshman year, I wasn't in any position to play. I knew my role, and that was to be a backup quarterback and to be a scout team player. But he told me, running on the field of Army Navy game that year, that I was gonna win this team get some CIC games, and to beat Air Force and beat Navy, and that's just kind of what that communication was about. I said, you told me this was gonna happen, and it did, and you just get emotional. It's just an awesome feeling.
Are physical games like this, the CIC games, play right to your strengths, Cale? You're a tough-minded player. Is this something that you were really geared up for and ready for?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think I said it yesterday, these games are tough, they're physical, they're the toughest games you're going to watch in all of college football. And I think every player on our team, at least it's my goal, it's not a statistic, it doesn't go on paper, but I want to leave the people watching, I want them to be confident in the fact that, these players are going to be the leaders of they're going to lead American sons and daughters into combat with the enemy. And, I think everyone has that mindset. We want to show how tough we are because it's more than football. What we signed up to do later in life, is a lot, and it's going to be a lot tougher and more emotionally invested in football. But, we want to leave the people watching confident that, people are in good hands.
Thanks, Cale.
We'll go now to Ken McMillan. Ken, go ahead.
Hey, Cale, congratulations. Something Coach Munkin said after the game on TV. He had noted that you had some difficulties throwing the ball on target early in the game, and I'm sure you might agree or not. How do you keep the poise? How do you readjust to what you need to do, especially on that last throw?
Yeah, it was in these games, it's one play at a time. And, the first series, it was third down. I missed a little out route, no short, I got to be better. And then in the second half, it was kind of the same look that I hit on to Brady at the end. We had a post and he was open and I overthrew him. You just got to wipe that. You got to wipe that and put it behind you. These games are one play at a time. And if you can do your 111 and, be successful, just one play at a time, then you're going to be fine. And it was white behind me. I just knew we had to move on and give Dawson Jones a chance.
Last thing, November, still, 4-4, still a tough month ahead of you. But this is such a positive. Tell us what you think Army can do from this game and moving forward.
Yeah, we're focused on Temple at home next week. This was great. We're going to definitely celebrate this win tonight, but we got to come ready to work tomorrow and just focus on going 1-0 at a time. And if we do that, I think we'll like our results. We've been playing good ball, and these games are always hard, and I think we have good momentum going into the remaining of the season.
Thank you.
Seth Mendelson, go ahead. We also have Kody Harris-Miller available. We'll circle back to everyone else at least one more time as well after this. Ken, go ahead, or Seth, go ahead.
Okay, for Cale, the announcers on TV said that it was the biggest throw of your life. A, do you think it was the biggest pass of your life? And B, if so, how does it make you feel, especially against Air Force?
Yeah, I think they're right. I think that was one of the biggest throws I've made in my life, and to do it on that stage, against Air Force, the first step to winning in the CIC, at Air Force, when you just gotta go get points and up on the field, it was awesome. When I saw it connect, I was smiling, I was feeling good, but then I had to put it behind and focus on running the next play and spotting the ball down so we could get a kick. But it was an amazing feeling, and I just give God the glory. I'm just so happy.
Okay, my last question for you. I think your brother's in the military now, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
In the Army, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
so that's got to be something good too, right?
Yes, sir.
Helping the family out. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, and he's a stud in the Army. I'll brag on him all the time. He's in the 75th Ranger Regiment, 2nd Battalion out in JBLM. He just left yesterday to go down to Georgia to begin some preparation for Ranger School. He's a stud, and I think like me and everyone else on our team, we like to put on this uniform and represent the men and women that serve in the Army. And people like Pierce, my brother, just they're invested. They watch our games, and it's just a great feeling that we were able to do this against another academy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ken Kreitzer in person. Do you have anything for Kody?
Yo, you're good. Kody Harris-Miller's up now.
Kody, it's great to stand up to media. What was it like for you? Yeah, you've been out for a while with an injury. To be able to get back there today contributed to a game like this.
It was definitely a special feeling, being out for the time being and just having the opportunity to come take the field again with my brothers and to be in such a special game with a lot on the line, with the amount of support we have, not only between the Corps cadets, but the entire United States Army. Just being able to be in this position, just extremely grateful. It's such an amazing game. And, it's everything that people talk about. And it's just great to be in this opportunity.
And just defense made key plays throughout. Early, Caleb Fortner stopped at 3rd and 5, forced a punt. You had Colin Madison, Casey Larkin making big plays, and Casey Larkin gets an interception. Gavin Shields in the 3rd quarter gets an interception, stops an Air Force drive at the Army 12. And then, of course, why don't you talk about a couple of those plays?
Those are definitely big plays like Cale just talked about. We try to do things one play at a time. We had a little bit of moments where we were shaking up a little bit, but it's in how we respond to each play. We have the next play mentality. If things don't go our way one play, we got to be able to wipe that and move on to the next. And as a team, we come together. We, bend, don't break. It's just been our mentality, and just bowing up when we have the chance and just seeing all those guys make the plays they do. It's just kudos to like everything they embody, not only as players, but as people. It's just this team, we're just going to fight.
And Air Force threatening to score in the 4th quarter. And it's you get a hit on the quarterback by Cole Seawright and a fumble recovery. Tell us about that.
It was one of those special moments because I remember having Cole in my company as a plebe and just seeing everything that he's worked so hard to achieve and just seeing him out there and make the plays that he's been making. It's just such a surreal moment. He's just a heck of a ball player. And then with Deshauntes Gray popping on the fumble and getting on top of it, get the ball back to our offense, it's just like we talked about, like we're just going to keep fighting no matter where we're at. We're going to keep clawing, scratching, kicking until we can get there.
And after Air Force tied the game 17-all, about a minute and a half left, the offense is able to get the ball down the field, complete a big pass, and kick a field goal to win the game. What that look like?
It's just the defense going out there and putting the trust in our offense. We are 100% supportive of Cale. We know that the front 5 up there with Brady Small, Paolo Generelli, Teddy Williams, Will Jeffcoat, and Henry Alperton, they're going to go out there and do their assignment to the best of their ability. And Brady Anderson made a heck of a play, and we just put our complete trust and faith in our teammates and our brothers for everything they worked for.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll go to Joe Iacono. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, Kody, congratulations on the win. The last really couple of years, and since you're an upperclassman, Army's defense has really seemed to step up in these CIC games, but especially against Air Force. And obviously, I know there's some similarities in the principles of the offenses, right, between Army and Air Force. But when you look at it, it's really not the same offense. There's a lot of differences. So what do you think allows you guys to play so well against Air Force?
Just the amount of coaching and preparation we go into this game. Like Coach Nate Woody, he does an amazing job in all the calls, putting us in the perfect places to be in. and he just puts a lot of trust and faith in us to just go out there and just follow our plan and just do our assignment.
Thank you.
We'll go now to Ken McMillan. Ken, go ahead.
I'm good.
We'll go to Sal Interdonato. Sal, go ahead.
Hey, Kody, congrats on the win. Was trying to get back for this game kind of motivation for you in your recovery from your injury?
Absolutely. I know we all want to win games, but it's just certain games that it really means a lot more. And, I know it's cliche to say, but this game was definitely circled on my calendar. Both CIC games were been circled on my calendar, but I don't want to fall in the trap of trying to look over other teams to worry about these two service academies. But just knowing the amount of physicality required, the amount of preparation required, and everything that goes into playing these CIC games, it was definitely like a good driving factor to help.
Last one, the red zone defense for you guys. You really stepped up in the red zone with 2 turnovers today. I know Coach Woody prides the defense on that. Can you just talk about the effort that you guys had in the red zone on those occasions?
Just that bend don't break mentality, being able to, like I said earlier, when they make a big play, being able to come back together, regroup, take a deep breath, and go out there and perform. That's just the mentality we have as a defense, and that's just something we pride ourselves on.
Appreciate it, Kody. Thanks so much.
Seth Mendelson, last question before Coach Munkin.
Sure. Kody, congratulations. Off of Sal's comment, the bend don't break defense. I thought the defense put the offense in a position to win the game. Obviously, you guys held them to half their regular points. They were average 34. Their quarterback was just not the same, and plus the 3 turnovers. Tell us about that a little bit more, if you could.
We have this plan that we try to follow, and it goes along with our commandments and all our team values, team rules, and that is the epitome of this defense. Like I keep saying, we bend, don't break. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna give everything we got for the brother to the left and the right of us. And offense put their trust in us, and we put our trust in the offense. And just a matter of being in the right spot, going along with the calls. Like I said, Coach Woody goes up there and he crafts it up, and he just puts us in the right spots, and we're just lucky to be able to make the plays we did and come out victorious today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kody. You're all set.